Yo, this is episode 62 of The Gentlemen's.
I thought the pause was for me.
My bad. Oh, sorry. You're good. You're good. Always jump the gun on the bombs. We need those all the time. Episode 62 of The Gentlemen's Club podcast. This is a special episode.
Very special.
For a specific reason.
What's the reason?
This is Amanda's last episode on the pod physically at this point. There might be other opportunities. We're not sure, but at this point, we're just going to say that this is going to be her last episode with us.
Yes.
She is moving on to greater and bigger things in life.
She's tired of us, honestly.
No.
It's toxic as fuck. It's like, I came on here to help y'all clean up your shit, and you didn't. I'm out.
No, I'm so sorry.
No, I don't apologize. It's a beautiful thing. Did you want to shed a little bit of light on what you got going on, or is that a little bit too personal?
No, that's okay. Yeah, so I'm moving out of state. So that's the reason why I really can't.
It's that bullshit, man.
Yeah. Yes, I am moving out of state to go to grad school. They gave me the biggest scholarship. What's up with that?
Talking shit.
So I obviously physically can't be here anymore because that will be a long drive.
That's a
That'll
fact.
be a long drive for me.
That's a fact.
Or the flights might get expensive. After.
Yes,
That's true.
Exactly.
That's true.
Exactly.
They are hiking the prices up. So we might have a few things that we can touch on. We might not. I guess that kind of depends on if you guys want to do a recap. If there's anything going on that you guys want to touch on at the moment.
I think we should just make this episode about, what's going on with us.
I strongly agree. Fuck trying to be a podcaster. Let's just fucking kick it. That's my favorite thing to fucking do. All right, I'm with it.
I think we should start off with the thing.
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay. I was gonna wait it out.
Okay.
What's
Yeah.
the thing?
Too late.
I agree.
Too late.
No. You're
it-
right. You're
okay.
right. You're right.
Okay.
We can do that at the end.
Okay. Cool.
What's the thing now?
Relax.
Now you got to wait.
The anxiety.
So I guess
I know.
I want to start off by asking you a question, Amanda, because you came onto this podcast when we were already ball was rolling. I won't say established because that's not ever who we are.
You guys were established though.
But we already kind of had a flow to things, and you came in and you just, and from mine and Ashton's perspective, you kind of fit right in. I guess I want to hear your thoughts on how has it been joining this podcast from your standpoint.
And do not do the big up.
Yeah, don't.
We're not here to big us up. You're very good with giving us our props. And
I'm gonna do it anyways.
All right.
Yeah, so I was already a stan. I was a stan of the podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, I was already a stan when
Pause.
when you guys asked me to come on, and I told you guys this too. I manifested that shit. I manifested it. I was saying like if Ashton asked me to come on, like in my head, like if he asked me to come on, I'd come on. Like look at me trying to be right? But I was just excited, and I
Ashton to come on.
I know, I did it, guys. I did it. I manifested it.
Look at you go.
But yeah, I had said a few things to you. I think I really like the podcast and stuff like that.
You were very vocal about the
Yeah.
topics and the things that we covered, which is greatly appreciated. Wish you guys would all do that, but we appreciate that.
Yeah, but I think the first episode, I didn't know that I was gonna be like on all the time.
Of course.
And of course, I was so freaking excited. The chance to talk about consent and all. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I love that shit.
Right.
So it was. I think it was just challenging because when you're like just a fan and you listen to people and you're like critiquing them, it's much harder to be in this seat. And when I was
Time out. I'm so sorry. And I say that again. Just say that again.
wait, what did I say?
just because that applies to so many more different things, not just what we're doing, podcasting, whatever case may be. But you said that
It's really tough once you're in that seat.
exactly.
And
So-
even more so for you guys because you guys are like literally on camera and in that seat.
right. Yeah. So that's important to highlight. It's very easy to critique people for whatever it is that they're doing until you're also in that same seat.
Right.
So that was good.
Yeah, so it's just, I think it's been hard. I remember the very first episode, Zach like gives us the audio. Thank you for that, Zach. So that if we say something stupid, then we can edit that out, right?
that's
And
true.
I probably need that. So
You aren't the person that I've had to edit out, though.
right, but I have said things. I have said things.
Oh man,
Yes, we're looking at you.
Yeah, I know. Listen, I'll wear that. I'll wear that 1,000%. I have so much more.
But the very first episode, I was so nervous for it to come out because I think you don't realize too is that we're saying a lot of things that I don't say to my parents, that I don't say to my relatives. And so it's very hard to be here and really put yourself out there in that way. So I respect you guys a lot because that's what I didn't really realize until I came into the seat is that you're really putting yourself out here. And like, this may not age well. Like in 10 years, like people might be like, what did you say on that podcast? That wasn't really good. You
Yeah.
know?
There's a couple of episodes that I can think of.
Oh, for sure, for sure. That they don't age well, and
Yeah.
it's awesome to. I appreciate the fact that you came in and you start getting your shit off. Like probably not as unfiltered as you would like, but you still didn't let that
There are a
stop.
couple instances.
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
glad that we created that kind of space for people to feel comfortable enough to do that, and you stepped right in and you fit perfectly.
Well, and I said too, like I have been being off the wall my entire life. So it's kind of like, this is a really, I feel like a lot of people that know me, they're like, this is a really productive thing for you. Cause I used to just say things, right? Like in my life. And that's not always constructive. But when you're here saying it in a positive way, and I have different opinions that can rebuttal some of the things that I say, I think that's more constructive and
course.
hopefully can help other people.
Absolutely.
Just to kind of piggyback off what you're saying, I think one thing that's very important that you learn with this podcast is you really have to think about things before you say it.
Lord.
That's the ticket. That's the ticket.
Because not everything is going to be taken as a little jokey joke.
Not at all.
And how many times have we said, "Oh, I didn't mean it like this. Oh, I'm so sorry." Like,
You do got to clarify, and it's important to do so. But I think I like that though. Like sometimes we can say something and it can sound crazy, and then you can say, "Well, that's not necessarily what I meant. This is how I meant." Like people in general don't get
Yeah.
a chance to do that.
Right.
You can say something online, it can get taken a million ways. We see it every day. People fight, blah blah blah, back and forth. We get to say something, and another person can hold another person accountable for the things that they say. Is it's a great thing.
Next thing you know, you're on Twitter apologizing for a statement you made.
That's a fact.
I'm about to apologize in advance because 5 years from now, I'm probably going to disagree with a lot of things I said. So sorry in advance, guys.
But you know what it is? All it is a receipt
Growth.
of growth.
It's growth.
Yep.
And that's how it is supposed to be perceived as. Like one of the last two episodes that we did, I think we were talking about that specifically, and social media and censorship, and part of that is it's like you can't go back, like certain people, depending on the individual and how much they've changed, you can't go back 5 years and kill them for what they said.
Right.
Because bro,
Get the change.
I was a whole different human being. Like me 5 years ago, I would have arguments with myself. I know I would.
Of course.
Right.
You absolutely would.
Absolutely, yeah.
For sure.
So there is always that.
Fair enough. What would you say has been your favorite part outside of sitting and just talking, right? That's the general thing. What would you say has been your favorite part about being a part of the podcast?
I feel like I've learned male's perspective.
Oh, wow. Round of applause for us. We need to do that as much as fucking possible.
One at a time, guys. One at a time.
I like that.
Because I'm very strong like with women empowerment, and sometimes I can just block out men completely, and I don't talk to men. I know that sounds weird. That just shows my love life right now. But I don't talk to men that much, to be honest. I don't
Right.
talk to them about these issues.
Okay.
I talk to them, but we don't talk about the
Real things that are going on.
vulnerable things, right?
Right.
And so I think I've learned a lot from you guys, and it's opened my eyes to be like, you got to meet people where they are. Don't just stereotype people, or don't just shut them down completely.
Okay.
I still stand by men are trash, but just
okay,
kidding,
okay.
just kidding.
Just when you think you got somewhere, right?
I thought so. I
I'm
thought we were
totally
making
joking.
progress.
I just wanted to throw it back from the very first
got-
episode.
You have to.
But yeah, I've learned a lot from you guys and your perspective.
Good. Beautiful. What else has changed? Has anything changed? I guess in your personal life, I know you said that you've been more unfiltered and you shared a few things that you haven't necessarily talked to your parents, has that changed any of your relationships? Has it made them better or worse or anything like that?
That's a good
Because your
question.
family listens to this podcast.
Yeah, that was crazy.
My dad does not listen to all of them
Okay.
because, again, maybe that's for the better.
Yeah.
But my mom, there was a moment that we had, and she was like really proud of me.
Wow.
And I'm like gonna get emotional because she was getting emotional when she talked to me. And like I said, I in my family have already been doing this. I project on other people, and I'm very passionate about things, and so I share them.
Of course.
Probably too passionately.
Okay.
And I think my mom was just really proud of seeing it in a constructive way and seeing maybe like how I could do this, like as a career or something like that.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Because I've always wanted to do something like
Yeah,
that.
that's what I was going to ask you. Do you see this being something that you would want to continue?
I feel like this is an intervention for me. Like, wow, thank you guys.
No, we're just trying to get to know you and help other people get to know you as well. But is this something that you think you might be interested in continuing on your path and your new journey and whatnot?
Yeah, I mean, if I could make money doing something like this, that's, you know, I mean, in any capacity, if I could share, I don't want to say social justice issues, but I feel like that's what I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about empowering women. I'm passionate about having these deep conversations and changing people's perspectives. So yeah, if I could do this in any capacity, then I would love to, you know.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
To be continued.
Be continued. Fair enough. Fair enough. Zach, did you have any other questions that you wanted to ask?
I guess I'll ask this: Has this podcast changed your look on the professionalism of it?
Oh yeah, it's a lot of work that you guys put into it. You know what I mean?
I know it's like everyone's first reaction when they come down here. Like,
Yes.
all right, trade secret. This podcast is filmed in my basement, and
It's a great setup though.
It is.
Initially, it's a little dungeony. There's some curtains,
Of course.
and then there is a studio.
Right.
And I'm actually curious of what was your first thought, because
Good question.
how this looks on camera versus how it is. I've showed you guys this. I've taken a picture from here of the entire setup, and it does not look like what ends up on,
At all.
on
At all.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Well, I remember when I first came down here, and I was like, "This shit looks expensive." That's what I said.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
No, but I mean, again, this is my bluntness coming out, right? This is my bluntness. Like, I literally just met you guys. I'm like, oh, well, I didn't meet you, but you know, yeah. So I feel like it looks expensive. It looks professional down here.
Okay.
I had no idea that there were lights that make our skin look luscious.
It is incredibly bright on that side.
That's
Yeah.
a fact.
But
That's a
it
fact.
makes my skin like, you cannot see the pimples on my face right now, and thank you for that. No, yeah, it looks really professional down here, and you guys know what you're doing, and you knew what you're doing from the very beginning, which I appreciated. And I think what was cool was you do know what you're doing.
All right. Okay.
We stumbled.
We stumbled a little bit.
Yeah.
But I can say that because I went back and just checked out some old episodes, which everyone should do if you support the Gentleman's Club podcast.
No, but from when you started, it's different now.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And we were working our way through it, and when I look back, it was like, even though I would say that me and Zach we like to be perfectionists at certain capacity. Would you agree?
Oh, 1,000%.
Okay, so when I look back on certain episodes, you know, obviously picture quality, or, you know, the way
Setup,
the setup,
lighting.
and even the way that we talk about things. You guys know I'm very big on how we construct what we talk about things and stuff like that. But it's like when I go back and listen to it and I just watch it, it's like, yo, we were doing that to the best of our ability at the time, learning on the
Period.
go. That shit was a blast. It's fun. It's going to be even better. It's going to continue to get better as it goes along.
And this is what I will argue. Like, so many people talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk. Like, you guys were doing it. It doesn't matter. Like, people say, right, like, if you have freaking $10 in your pocket, like, and you want to do something, you should do it. So
sure.
you guys had what you had at that time,
True.
and you made it work.
Very,
just
very
like you're
true.
making it work now, and I'm sure it's going to be elevated in the future. So, like, when I was watching it When I think you guys had like a white table or something. Was that true?
Still do have the white table.
Oh, this is the white table. But it was like a white table called something.
The white background.
That was bad.
That was really bad. That was really bad.
I can't go back. Like, I think I made a couple of those videos unlisted. I was like, yeah, no, nobody needs to see this.
Yeah.
See, I think that's so
times.
cool, like how it's evolved, and I didn't care because the content was good. Like that's my opinion,
dope.
and obviously, if you can elevate your setup, then it makes it even more,
Of course.
like better. But
Of course.
I found the content was beautiful. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
Good to hear.
Thank you. Ash?
I'm trying to think. I can't say.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you guys a question?
Of course.
So when you initially thought about the Gentlemen's Club podcast, you did not think about having a woman on the podcast, maybe as a guest, but not someone being a regular. How does that? How do you guys feel about that?
You go first. I'll follow.
It changed the plans considerably, but because of how well that episode went when you were on here, like when you left that night, me and Ashton kind of looked at each other and says, "Yo." And that's really, we didn't have a full-on
I'm gonna tear up,
conversation.
guys.
We didn't have a
Jesus
full-on
Christ.
conversation about it, but we both knew what that meant. We both said, yo. And we both were like, no, if this is the direction, if we go in a direction, this is the direction that would work best.
Of course.
That's how well of a fit you were. I think the first episode that you were on, it was a lengthy one.
Yeah.
And it was because the conversation was flowing so well. I was like, dude, that was easy.
Yeah.
There are some instances and some conversations that are harder to have because you kind of got to pull it out of people.
Yeah.
And granted, and we've talked about this off camera, there was some learning curve as far as like, video tendencies and things of that nature. But as far as the conversation,
was flowing.
You were top notch from day one.
Facts. And
Thank
even
you.
and it was funny because Zach is the mastermind. He's behind the boards and he's doing the editing and whatnot. As the conversation starts getting longer, he's giving me the look like, yo, we're gonna have to cut this real soon. But then we would step into something, and
Yeah.
then next thing you know, he's in the conversation.
Sure.
So that also spoke to how well of a fit you were when we were on here.
My least favorite thing is at minute 40 when somebody brings up a good point. It's like, oh.
I see it on your face every time, and I wanna laugh out loud and bring it up, but I just don't. I was just like, we'll just talk about it later. So no, that's great.
When you called me though, Ashton had called me because I was like, I literally went home. I was like, I hope they ask me back. Like, literally so embarrassing. I was like, I hope they ask me to come back because I'd love to come back. And then Ashton like called me and he was like so calm, and I was like trying to play it cool. I was like, oh my god, thank you.
You did play it cool. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I'll even go back to beforehand because when we were saying that we want to have some more guests, and to be honest with you, I knew you'd stay.
Really?
Just from the jump.
Yeah.
Like I brought your name up. We talked about it, and when we first, I think because it was before it was a couple episodes beforehand. I might have brought up having her on the pod.
We actually were having a conversation about you being on the pod for, I think, a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we talked about it, and I was like, I think she'll be great. Finally happened. Episode was flawless in my opinion, and I was like,
I felt like I was obnoxious that entire episode.
No. And also the timing couldn't have been better because we were going through some transitional things that we weren't expecting either.
of course. Shout out to Joshy Ty.
Shout out to him. No, for real. I'm getting a dead eye look over here, but it's for real. But the timing really couldn't have been perfect. So it was like, all right, this is all lining up.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we had to extend the invitation.
Of course.
So
And I told you that I was moving.
Yeah.
Like when I first came on, I
Right.
told him that I was
And
moving.
I can't lie to y'all, that was
halted us for about a week.
Yeah.
Because you weren't sure, right? Which makes total sense.
Yeah, and we did talk about it. It was just like, well, shit, well, we gonna do it for 2 months and then just let it go? You know what I mean? But at the same point in time, I didn't think it could hurt anything. It's like, well, shit, nigga, it's right there. It's like an alley-oop. Like,
Yeah.
Let's just take it and see what happens and where it goes.
So I just also want to point out to the audience too, like I didn't do this like after I had started. I already
Yeah,
knew
she
I was
set
going
us up and said, y'all do your little podcast
Yeah.
and I'm out this bitch. Like,
right.
It wasn't one of those.
Yes, I already knew I was moving
Right.
before Ashton asked me to come on.
Of course.
It's in the contract.
Yeah. Yeah. We
Yeah, so
talked
this
about
was
it.
already a plan. And
Though the date has been a floating date for a little bit, I will say that.
Yeah.
literally
true.
every week is like, how many more weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we definitely avoided it because we love having you here.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, me and Ashton didn't want to think about finding a replacement for Amanda, so we still haven't talked about that.
yeah, we'll be doing auditions real soon, man. Be looking out for that.
Or I might jump on the screen.
Whoa.
That's a fake teaser, I promise you that.
Fair enough. Anything else that you can think of that you'd like to ask us? Not at this time.
I don't think so. I'm grateful. Thank you.
We are beyond grateful.
So I want
What's
to
the
ask
thing,
you.
guys?
So I want to ask you: is there anything that you would like to say to the audience about, just speaking to the audience in general about anything that you want to touch on, anything that you want to stress, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm going to, before you say anything, I'm going to ask Ashton: do we bring up the thing before or after she does her thing?
After.
After.
Yep.
So you give your thing.
Guys, all I'm going to be thinking about is the thing.
I know, but talk
Just
to
kidding.
the people that support you.
Talk
Because
to the
there's,
people.
Yeah, because there's a lot of
Because
people who
there's a lot of support for you specifically.
Guys, you're making
on
me
this
embarrassed.
it just the game is the game.
podcast. We are going to lose half of our followers
No.
the next episode.
No. Stay on the podcast. Number one thing, stay listening to the podcast.
Okay, fair enough.
No, but I just want to thank everybody because, so I'm going to get emotional again. Okay, so when I first started the very first episode, I obviously was so excited and I shared with everybody. And I got so much love from that episode. This was before I knew everything was going to happen.
Right.
And so many people that I haven't talked to in a long time or know from different walks of life have reached out to me and really just enjoy the podcast and enjoy like our flow as a unit. But it's meant so much to me. And I think for anyone who like does speak their mind or like put themselves out there in a different way, and I think you guys can relate of like the business as well. Like when you put yourself out there, it's nice to know that you will have supporters. And I think you always second guess yourself, right? When you want to put yourself out there. And I'm sure you guys felt that way when you open the business. Like, do we have the support of the community? Do we have people that will be there for us? And so many people have, in my life, have just been like, wow, that's awesome that you're doing this. Or like, I listened and you were awesome. And it just really meant so much to me.
Don't touch the mic so much.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I just complimented you on all the great advancements that you made this
I'm
episode.
nervous. I'm
She's hitting the mic.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. It happens.
I'm nervous talking about myself. Yeah, so I'm just so grateful because it means, like I said, this is a dream for me to do something like this. So I'm just really grateful for all the support and thank you for caring about what I have to say, which again, I don't. I've been talking so much that people usually tell me to shut up. So thank you for just listening and caring.
Of course. We're grateful. Absolutely.
Round of applause for you.
Thank you. And also, I want to say thank you to the men that have listened to my side. And I think that's really important to point out that sometimes I can be aggressive. Sometimes I can be like blunt and straightforward. But I'm just appreciative of people that listened and don't criticize me for that. If you can criticize me. That's totally fine too. But I think that it's important for men and women to talk about things like this. And so I'm grateful that men are listening and
For sure.
care
sure.
what I have to say. So
Absolutely.
I shouldn't stereotype them so much.
Look at that.
She's going to go right back to stereotyping.
Right
I'm not
after
even
this.
concerned about
I'm just kidding. I'm literally getting a gender and women's studies degree. So
Right. Well, we definitely look forward to hearing more from you in the future in whatever capacity that is.
thank you.
For sure. All right. I guess it's that time.
What is the time?
If you gotta look underneath the table, there might be something.
Oh, I'm like, there's empty Trulies.
What great product placement.
God.
Forever.
It's a gift.
It's a gift.
Thank you.
Go
Oh my
ahead.
God, did you guys give me green tea? I love green tea.
Hey.
How did you know that?
Shout out to Sam.
Did you reach out to Sam?
I did.
Oh my
I
God.
definitely did. Remember we were talking about the Zodiac thing?
I'm a freaking Libra.
There's
Thank you.
This is part of our parting gift. The rest of it is it's gonna take some time. So I'm gonna need the address at one point.
Do you guys want to know what this note says?
Absolutely.
I know what the note says.
It says, "Call me." It is Ashton's phone number.
I thought it'd be funny, man.
It was.
For sure.
I thought it was some like weird, like another guy. I was like, oh god.
Nah, you got to crack open. There's a joke. Just open the card. You're gonna like it.
You guys.
I don't know what the joke is.
First of all, you did not need to get me anything.
For sure. But remember when I text you?
Oh my, this is too much.
It was
This
a
is
setup
too
because I
much.
saw it. Yeah.
I just wanted to let you know
you.
it is checks over stripes, but whatever.
So
I'm like Kanye's about Adidas. so-
right.
So
All right.
am I.
So when we were trying to figure out something to give her, we were debating between two gift cards. So it was a Nike gift card and an Adidas gift card, and we decided on the Nike one. But I was like, let's find out. So I sent her a text. Right.
Very responsibly of you, by the way.
Thank you. All right, so I sent her a text and it was like, yo, settle this argument between me and Zach. Is it Nike or Adidas better? And she was like, Adidas, hands down. So we had to put the Nike gift card back and get the Adidas gift card.
You didn't check out yet.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, good.
yeah, that was
good,
the
good.
setup.
I was
That was
like,
the
oh
setup.
my gosh. Well, thank you guys so much.
Of
You didn't
course.
need to get me anything, but thank you.
Of course.
I love green tea. Sam's like green tea.
Yep.
I'm literally
She definitely helped out a lot.
woman.
So I know this was a little bit on the shorter side, but it was more so than anything an Amanda appreciation podcast. Of
course.
Because you
This
have
is too much.
you have absolutely enhanced this podcast in a lot of ways that I don't
Thank
think.
you.
I think that we'll definitely miss with you not being here, but some of it is going to stick around. I think it's
sure.
I think you've forced me and Ashton to be a little bit more mature.
That's a
with some of our takes.
Yeah, that's a fact.
And still find a way to be entertaining.
True.
But
Very
we've had to become a little bit more mature. Well, he's had to become more mature with his takes.
All on me, man. All on me.
But regardless of if we figure out something intermediate as far as your involvement in this podcast, it will not be the same without you sitting in that seat. So we will miss you.
Thank you. I'll miss you guys too. And comment below if you want me to be a part of it. Just kidding.
Bring Amanda back. The
right.
hashtag.
Yeah, that'll be a good one.
So all I have to say is good luck to you on your journey, your next
Thank
endeavor.
you.
I know that whatever it is that you put your mind to and decide to do, you're absolutely going to kill it.
That's
Thank
a fact.
you.
This
You guys are being
podcast-
too nice to me. Thank you so much.
Of course.
No, this podcast is always going to be rooting for you. I don't know if you read the card yet. You will always be a member of this podcast.
Thank you.
Always.
And then Ashton, I'll let you close it out.
To be honest with you, you speak for both of us when it comes to that. We went to high school together. We've been cool. We've spoken on social media, but it's been enjoyable to have you be a part of this, to get to see how you change and how you grow. And the person that you're turning into and have turned out to be has been nothing short of amazing.
Thank you.
So we're glad to have had you a part of this, and we hope to hear from or see you soon.
Yeah, I will be back like in town. Don't know when,
It's lit, fam.
but
It's
I'll
lit.
I'll be, or you guys come to the fucking East Coast. Let's go. Should I not have said the F word?
I
I'm so
almost-
sorry.
I almost said the town that you're going to, and I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah,
You know what? I was gonna say, but I was like, let's remain a little mysterious.
Of course,
right?
of
Let's remain a
course.
little mysterious.
Yeah, but
But please come and visit me.
that'd be great.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see what your world is like after you get settled. And
I've been saying, you guys are making me so emotional because I've been saying so many goodbyes and it's just too much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
That's
just
true.
overwhelming to me. And,
of course,
I think like when I first came back, like I didn't have a lot, like I didn't have a group. I didn't have that. And it's like now I feel like I have it. And it's like I'm leaving it, and it's very emotional, but
we'll still be here
Absolutely.
awesome.
for sure.
Yeah. Some degenerates never leave.
Yeah. Well, this has been the most important episode.
You got to be in sync this time.
Okay.
I'm saying it before.
Okay.
Of course.
Okay.
So this is episode 62 of the Gentleman's Club podcast.